I'm getting higher and higher, feel it in my sleep. Sometimes it feels like I'll never go past here. Sometimes it feels like stuck forever, ever. But I'm going high, closer to my dreams.
Good afternoon.
I'm going high.
Oh, come on. Good afternoon. I need some energy today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please go ahead and take your seats. And we're going to get started with a selection with the national anthem by Lydia Milton. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly gleaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia. Absolutely beautiful. Amazing. Thank you. Okay, next up, we're going to have an opening number by Mr. Richard Shaw, Jr. right now, Mr. Shaw bringing the house down early in the program. He showed y'all real quick what he was gonna do with those 2 saxophones at one time. You wasn't ready for that. You wasn't ready for that. Well, listen, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started as we already have kicked it off. Feminism isn't about making women strong. Women are already strong. It's about changing the way the world perceives that strength. Greetings, my name is Tyronica Carter. I am your host for today's event. And welcome to the 7th Annual Women's History Month Awards on behalf of the City of Stockbridge, Councilman Elton Alexander, and the Women's Committee of Stockbridge. Today, we're gathered to honor some remarkable women who are the trailblazers and are leaving a lasting mark in women's history. Let's all prepare our hearts to celebrate these queens and bestow upon them their flowers and recognition today. Because behind every successful woman is a tribe of other successful women who have their back. Councilman Alexander.
Hello, everyone, and I needed to get a little sip of water. Had to get a little sip there. With so much going on, and I know that I can go on forever. They've already given me a time limit. They're like, man, every year we give you a time limit, and what happens? You go over. But the first thing that I want to do is acknowledge our Lord and Savior who brought us here today. Were it not for He, I would not be here. And I say it every single time I have an opportunity. It is He, not me, that has brought me to this destiny. I'm here today because of those things. If you know my story, if you knew it, I'll write a book one day. And every last one of us has been through some trial, some tribulation, but we're here today and we woke up. When you woke up this morning, like my Mason brothers would say, He woke you up this morning. You were blessed already, and that's why we are here today and blessed. So welcome to the City of Stockbridge, Councilman Elton Alexander Women's History Month honors. This is one of my proudest accomplishments, just to say that what we do is endeavor to honor women who are out there in the trenches every single day, working with their head down, looking for no recognition, but so deserving of said recognition. Too many times, those women are overlooked. You know, different organizations give out awards for different reasons. You gotta be a member, you gotta belong. We look for individuals, and this committee endeavored to put together and select down a group of women who needed to be honored in this community. And they committed themselves to weekly meetings where we discussed and we voted on many of the nominees, because literally we could honor 1,000 people, but we only have 20 slots for today. I want to have, first of all, the Women's History Month community to stand up and to be acknowledged for the great work that they put in putting this amazing event together. Why are we here today? And let me say you today, every day, and I can tell you a little bit about my testimony. And what we do is to understand how I got here. I don't like standing at the podium. I like to move around a little bit. But the way that we got here and brought us here today is that I met an angel. God sent her here to me for a season. She's no longer with us, but I know that she was with me for a season, and God put her in my life to make sure that I carried on in her name. We're here today in the name of Alicia Morgan Alexander, my wife. She passed away in 2003 from a tragic car accident. At a time in my life where I was lost, she found me. And the man that you see today is a representation of what we had. Okay, I unashamedly say she helped me dress the way that I dress today. She helped me handle business the way that I handle business today. and she helped me raise my children as their stepmother. And we never used that term in our home, stepmother, because the kids referred to her as their mother because of her loving heart. She didn't have any kids of her own, but she stepped in, and you would not have known if had I not told you that those kids were not her kids, because she treated them as if they were theirs. And in this day and time, that's a blessing. Because she worked for the Boys and Girls Club of Metro Atlanta, and my kids are here. My daughter's here today, Jasmine Alexander. Stand up, Jasmine. My granddaughter's here, Avari. Stand up, Avari. My brother Reginald Alexander, Sister Sharice, and Miss Relita Mims are here with us today. Stand up, please. I certainly would like to have the members of the Stockbridge City Council and Mayor and Council please stand to your feet. Just stay standing, stay standing. This is Mayor Anthony S. Ford, who's our leader here in the city of Stockbridge. He's our esteemed mayor. He's the first African-American mayor in the history of the city, and it's my pleasure to work with you, sir. We have Mayor Pro Tem Alfonso Thomas here with us as well. We'll acknowledge them for the great work that we're doing, and we endeavored to set the bar extremely high and trust and believe. If you don't know about Stockbridge, you better ask somebody. I want to recognize our First Lady, Mrs. Celia. Will you please stand? It's important that we see folks that look like us in these roles. It's extremely important. And they carry themselves with distinction and pride and represent the city well. So thank you so much for being here as well. We have McDonough Mayor Sandra Vincent in the house. Sandra Vincent is one of our honorees tonight. She's the first African-American mayor in the history of the city of McDonough. We have Mayor Ann Tarpley with the city of Hampton. Mayor Tarpley is also the first African American to hold the distinction as the mayor of the city of Hampton. As is Mayor Vincent, the first African American and first woman to hold that position. So, you know, we look at that and we have to understand that those things are extremely important. And being community active, no matter what party you belong to or what affiliation, you gotta get involved. And we've made a historic difference in this county in the last 5 years. If you were here and you've seen the transition and from which we have come, thank you so much. And I gotta acknowledge my chairwoman over here, Carlotta Harrell, ladies and gentlemen. You have your award with you? Hold that award up. I presented this award earlier to Carlotta because in those hot summer days when it was 90 degrees and we're out there with community development for real people, before she took the title of chairperson, she was out there rolling up her sleeves, serving people, meeting a need in the middle of the pandemic. I cannot think of her leadership in this county, and the things that she has accomplished are absolutely amazing. We have District 4 school board member, Ms. Sophia Poet here as well. Ms. Poet. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in District 4 right now. This is District 4. Hint, hint, this is District 4. Pay attention. Okay, we have District 5 or District 2 school board member, Annette Edwards. I think we're going to get it right in a minute. Miss Annette Edwards. All right. We have, I'm sorry, I didn't have a list. I want to make sure I'm not leaving anybody out who is a current elected official. Please stand. If there's anybody who's an elected official who I did not mention, please stand. I'm sorry. Let's mention these folks out here. I see, stay standing. Don't sit down. Don't sit down. Stay standing. I want to make sure I acknowledge everybody because some people came in. We got Clayton County Commissioner Demont Davis, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Davis is being instrumental in working with us on the CID for Highway 138, and his leadership is instrumental in doing this. A team of us working every single day to move this county forward. And he said we can't do it fast enough. I love his timetables, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Commissioner. We have Commissioner Miss Anderson over here, Clayton County, Alika Anderson. That's District 1, right? District 1. That's right. We appreciate her, and the first thing she did was call me and say, what can we do? We are collaborating on a level like never before. And when she set foot in the amphitheater, she said, this is amazing. This is where we're going. This is what we're doing. We're all working together because in that bowl right there along Highway 138, it's Clayton, it's Henry, it's all, everybody's working together. The chairwoman is leading as well. There's so many leaders as well. Councilwoman Neat Robinson certainly was instrumental in putting things together to help us facilitate these relationships. Because in the middle of when you're handling business, relationships matter. Remember that, relationships matter. Yes, it's who you know too. And you gotta get out and be able to speak to people, talk to people, and fellowship with them to understand growth and progress in our community. But certainly, we wanna do that. We also have Henry County Board of Elections, Miss Mildred Smeltz. Ms. Smeltz is the chairwoman of the committee. Absolutely. So, is there anybody that I did not? Regina, I'm sorry, I got over here. My representative, District 109, one of our Glass Ceiling Award winners, Regina Lewis Ward, District 109. And ladies and gentlemen, we got so many people out here that are really doing things and working the ground. We have someone who is a tremendous supporter of myself, Ms. Chandra Lewis. Judge Chandra Lewis. Judge, did I say that? Absolutely, absolutely. And we have Miss Angela Moore over here, who is District number 90, which is North Henry County. And she's always telling me, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Can I help you out, guys out? How can we move this thing forward? What do we need to do? So many collaborators in the community here, making sure that we get things done that care about moving the community forward in a positive direction. You need folks to be able to do that and to be able to participate and to be able to be accountable for progress. We have folks sitting at the table now who are accountable for progress, moving the needle forward right here in our community. And I know my time is running long, but I have to make sure that I acknowledge. Recognition you just cannot give enough recognition for what you do out here in the community to be able to recognize individuals for all of their accomplishments and moving the needle forward in our community. But I'm going to relinquish the microphone and just say thank you so much for everything that you do and care and say and provide for this particular community. And there's one more team that I want to recognize as well, and then I'm going to be done with my set. I want the Community Development for Real People team to stand. If you have ever volunteered, you've ever worked with, you're one of the board members, or you're a Community Development for Real People volunteer, please stand. These individuals trusted me enough in the guidance of the Lord to go out on a parking lot on March the 17th of 2020 and start a food drive because we didn't have one here in Henry County. When things shut down, we had no idea the pandemic was coming at the level that it was coming. But when it hit and everything got shut down and folks were looking for a meal, we were already staged up because the Lord had predestined us to be there. And because of these volunteers right here and the people that you just saw, we've been up and running 2 years, and the Lord has brought us our own building, fully equipped, where we are able to operate and fill a need in this community. Thank you so much, and I'm going to turn it over to our illustrious host. Thank you, Ms. Cox.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Councilman Alexander. All right, next up we're going to have our mayor, Anthony Ford, with the proclamation.
Use this mic, okay? Fantastic. Thank you. There we go. There we go. I'm going to be joined by the council. First of all, Councilman Alexander and your team of volunteers and the staff, and it's a wonderful event. It's going to kick off just fine, and it's going to continue to go on. It's going to improve over the course of these years, but it's a wonderful event this evening. I'm very blessed this evening because I'm among all these queens out here. You understand? So you guys, there you go. Go ahead, give yourself applause, please. All right, so all you men at the tables, acknowledge those queens at your table. Now, go ahead, tell y'all beautiful. Tell them, come on, tell them. All right, absolutely. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Sir.
Ladies, stand up and give yourselves a round of applause. Stand up. That's an amazing thing to have. Thank you, Mayor Ford. Thank you so much. Yes, applaud yourselves. Now we're going to have a special presentation from Representative Angela Moore.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to stand up here because I'm short. So for 11 months and 6 days, it's been my greatest honor to represent the citizens here in Stockbridge, Georgia, in Rockdale, and in DeKalb County, where I'm from. And of course, the moment I became elected, I ran over here because they were building this huge amphitheater. And as a person who is a publicist for entertainment all over the world, and as someone who sits on the board of Fine Arts and Entertainment, that was just a dream come true. So this is my dream job. Then I meet this dude right here, and he made me feel so welcomed. But they say it's a man's world. That's what James Brown said. He's from Georgia. If he were still alive, he'd be performing over here. Absolutely. But you can't prove that by me. The one thing about Miss Angela is that once you give to me, I flip the script and I give back. So, on behalf of a grateful state of Georgia, we can bring this up here, Councilman. I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's much longer than this. I got it down packed just a little bit, so we're just going to read just a little bit because I can't do like Mayor Ford. He's been in this a long time. So, it is, and this is not the pretty copy. The pretty copy comes from the state of Georgia on Tuesday, which I'm going to ask or invite all the honorees here today to come over to Councilman's office and sign it with me. And it reads in part, a resolution recognizing and commending Elton Alexander for outstanding public service and other purposes. And it starts off with his lifelong everything, where he was born and what he's done and all the businesses and all of the community things that he has done, and whereas and therefores. It's very, very official on the entire state, from the entire state of Georgia. Whereas this distinguished gentleman has given inspiration to many, okay, in high ideals and deep concerns for his fellow citizens. He has possessed a vast wisdom in which only comes through experience. I got that right. I didn't know you that long, but I got that right. We've had enough experience to know. Whereas it is abundantly fitting and proper that the outstanding accomplishments of this boom, on behalf of Mayor Ford, boom, remarkable Georgian be appropriately recognized. Therefore now be it resolved by the State House of Representatives that the members of this body recognize and commend Elton Alexander for his efficient, effective, and dedicated public service to the state of Georgia and extend the most sincere best wishes for continued health, happiness, and success presented to you on this day, March the 6th, 2022, on behalf of a grateful Georgia, and from the House District 90, Representative Angela Moore. And please, all the honorees, please start stopping by his office on Tuesday and signing the pretty copy that the state of Georgia actually gives him.
All right, everyone give a round of applause.
Congratulations, and if you know Councilman Alexander, you know this is well deserved. He loves this city, and his dedication to it is just bar none. Hey, we getting warmed up around here. Yes, deserve it. Please give him another round of applause. All right, next up, we have a little bit of entertainment for you guys, another round of entertainment from the Eagles Landing Dance Center. We have a performance. Please give them a hand as they come up.
Standing ovation, please. Standing ovation. This is for our children.
Care Foundation. Let's please welcome and give a round of applause to our keynote speaker, Dr. Henson.
Note to self, next time cut my bio short. Good afternoon. I'm really honored to be here with you at this really exciting event. It's a really hard act to follow after the wonderful music and the dance and dinner, so I don't want y'all to fall asleep on me, okay? I want to thank Councilman Elton Alexander and the City of Stockbridge for this opportunity. While I wouldn't list public speaking as one of my favorite things to do, when I'm passionate about the topic as I am today, I'm really grateful for a chance to share my thoughts. The theme for Women's History Month this year is providing healing, promoting hope. How appropriate this theme is for where we are today, almost 2 years into the pandemic. And as some of you may know, this is the 10-year anniversary of Henry Medical Center becoming part of the Piedmont Healthcare family, becoming Piedmont Henry Hospital. I want to share with you today some of the great achievements we've achieved over the past decade as Piedmont Henry, the tremendous acts of bravery and compassion from all of our caregivers and frontline workers during the pandemic as they provided healing and hope to our community, and what it's like to lead this amazing group of healthcare workers. Along the way, I'm going to share with you quotes from some of my favorite women in history. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Piedmont Henry hasn't always had the best reputation. I think in some cases the hospital was unfairly maligned, but I also know that we've made a lot of progress over the last 10 years. Henry Medical Center joined Piedmont Healthcare 10 years ago and has made a number of significant strides since then. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "You can often change your circumstances by changing your attitude." This certainly has been the case at Piedmont Henry. We focused on the Piedmont promise of making a positive difference in every life we touch. We created a culture of safety, which helps us provide quality and safe care and excellent service. Every day we use error prevention tools that ensure we are providing the safest care possible. Our goal is to make these safety tools second nature, and over 600 staff members now belong to the Total Recall Club, meaning they have the entire list of safety tools memorized. It worked because we've made a significant reduction in the number of serious safety events at the hospital over the past 5 years. We also discuss daily our goal to provide excellent service to our patients and to each other. Over the past 10 years, we've expanded the services that we offer to our community so that the citizens of Henry County don't have to leave the county to get first-class 21st century care, such as robotic surgery, interventional procedures like uterine artery ablations, PET scanning, and acute rehabilitation. Lastly, we focus on our people. As you may be aware, Piedmont Healthcare was one of 16 companies in Georgia recently named as Forbes magazine's top large employers. We are in really good company as Chick-fil-A, Home Depot, and Delta Airlines were also listed. At Henry, we try to make work fun. Somewhere out there's some photos of my executive team bringing a roving disco unit to nursing stations to bring a smile and maybe a boogie woogie or two to our staff. We also set the expectation to be an owner. We pitch in when and where there is a need. That means that there are times when hospital leaders, including me, clean rooms, take out trash, dirty linen, or deliver food to patients, because we all are owners of the hospital. A very popular quote amongst healthcare workers from Maya Angelou is, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." A lot goes into caring for a patient in the hospital, and sometimes patients are too ill to be aware of all that's being done to care for them. However, what they do remember is the compassion of the doctors, the nurses, and the staff. Every member of the Piedmont team focuses on providing patient-centered care. I have many examples of staff members going above and beyond for patients, but there are 3 that stand out. One of our labor and delivery nurses learned that one of her patients, who had been on bed rest for several months in the hospital, had been unable to see her husband because they had childcare issues. This nurse volunteered to come in on her night off and sit with the children so that this couple could spend time with each other. She played games with the kids, got them dinner, and kept them busy, just so that her patient could spend some time with her husband. We have another staff member who's a physical therapy assistant who heard a patient was distressed about not being able to care for her animals while she recovered from an injury. When our staff member heard that these animals were a horse and a mule and not a dog or a cat, she didn't balk. She volunteered to care for the animals each weekend, has done so for over a year, and has forged a friendship with her patient. One of our patient care techs spent over an hour shampooing and dressing the hair of a COVID patient who had been in the hospital for over a month. The patient was understandably feeling distressed about the state of her hair. This wasn't the patient care tech's patient, but she understood the therapeutic value of feeling clean and well-coiffed. We want all of our patients to feel special. No matter how busy we are, the moments we connect with our patients are the most important. Our healthcare workers have faced adversity during the COVID-19 pandemic. Over the past 2 years, I've frequently thought of this quote from Maya Angelou. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. This has certainly been our experience over the past 2 years. I don't know whether you know this, but Piedmont Henry was one of the hardest hit hospitals in the state by COVID. Despite representing only 1% of all of the acute care beds in Georgia, we took care of almost 5% of all of the patients hospitalized with COVID-19 in Georgia, treating close to 5,000 patients from March of 2020 to today. The hospital has endured 5 surges of this pandemic, and each surge saw a record number of patients. At one point, 75% of all of our beds were occupied by COVID patients. On another day, we had 60 more patients admitted to the hospital than we had beds to put them in. What made the last 2 surges so difficult was that they could have been avoided. Our physicians and nurses have struggled with seeing patients who are critically ill and dying, and knowing that vaccines could have kept them out of the hospital or saved their lives. If you're wondering why we were so disproportionately hit, it's because the vaccination rate in Henry County for all ages is 44%, compared to 54% across the state of Georgia and 65% in the U.S. The last 2 years have been hard for all of us. I know everyone in this room is exhausted from all the stress and worry that we have endured, both individually and collectively. Healthcare workers got it both ways. In addition to worrying about their own health and safety and that of their loved ones, every day they had to march right into the lion's den to care for their patients. Our healthcare workers embraced the words of Audre Lorde, who said, "When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether or not I'm afraid." It's been a long 2 years and our staff are exhausted. I remind them daily that we will get through this and we will do it together. We're a stronger team now than when we were at the beginning, but it took an awful lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get where we are today. The courage and resilience of our staff remind me of this quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. We do not have to become heroes overnight, just one step at a time, meeting each thing that comes up, seeing it as not as dreadful as it appears, discovering that we have the strength to stare it down. One day at a time, one step at a time. That's how we got through the past 2 years. Each day there would be a new challenge and we would band together and find a way to address it. When we ran out of space in the intensive care unit, we turned the intermediate care unit into the ICU and taught our cardiac unit nurses how to become IMC nurses. When we ran out of beds to place admitted patients, we stopped doing surgeries and used the space and the staff there to take care of these admissions. For the record, a nurse is not a nurse is not a nurse. We have surgery nurses and medical nurses and labor and delivery nurses and ER nurses and ICU nurses, all with a different set of skills, and every one of them had to step outside of their comfort zone so we could care for all of the patients who were being admitted. When we were using a lot of oxygen to care for all of our COVID patients, we quadrupled our oxygen farm to make sure we had enough oxygen for our patients. We were the first hospital in the Piedmont system to purchase a -80 freezer so that we could store the Pfizer vaccine. We offered monoclonal antibody treatments, not just for the citizens of Henry County, but all of Georgia, because no one else could have the staff to staff these clinics. We found those staff by begging and pleading for help. We did this so that we could keep patients out of the hospital and save the hospital beds for those who really needed to be in-house. For the past 2 years, it's been all hands on deck at Piedmont Henry. We did not become heroes overnight, but you had better believe every member of the team there has earned that hero designation. If I have one ask, it is that you hear that our healthcare workers deserve to be treated with grace, respect, and admiration. 'Very successful. Our healthcare workers have been to hell and back. My favorite quote from Eleanor Roosevelt is, "Nothing has ever been achieved by the person who says it can't be done. While my team has done it, they sure could use some affirmation and appreciation." I started my role as CEO of Piedmont Henry in February 2020, 1 month before the pandemic started. I know, right? I should have negotiated a better package. I have to tell you, it's been a heck of a ride. I feel so very blessed to have been given the opportunity to lead such a courageous and dedicated group of professionals. 42 years ago, hard to believe it's that long, 42 years ago when I started my training in medicine, I never would have dreamed that I would be where I am today. I wanted to be an oncologist when I grew up, but I fell in love and had to move from Chicago to Seattle. I had to change career choices and became a neurologist. Unfortunately, the marriage didn't survive, c'est la vie, but I love neurology, and I'm grateful for the 3 decades, okay, that sounded really big. I have 2 beautiful children from that marriage, so. But I love neurology, and I'm really grateful for the 3 decades I was able to take care of neurology patients, engage in MS clinical research, and educate a generation of physicians in Seattle. As Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, so often in life, things that you regard as an impediment turn out to be great good fortune. In 2015, I moved to Atlanta to serve as Chief of Neurology for Piedmont Healthcare. That move then led me to become the Chief Medical Officer here at Henry and ultimately resulted in me being named CEO in 2020. I've had an incredible clinical career and I've been blessed to work with some of the legends in the field of medicine. But the decision to join Piedmont placed me here during the most challenging but also the most rewarding time of my professional life. First Lady Michelle Obama said, "Success is not about how much money you make. It's about the difference you make in people's lives." Coming to Piedmont has allowed me to make a positive difference in the health of Henry County. As I conclude, I want to come back to today's theme, which is providing healing, providing hope. I'm grateful that I've been able to lead a great team of folks that have provided healing and hope to the citizens of Henry County over the past 2 years. As I think about what the past 2 years have been like, I'm reminded of Maya Angelou, who said, "If you find it in your heart to care for somebody else, you will have succeeded." I am proud of my team. They have succeeded by fulfilling the Piedmont promise of making a positive difference in every life we touch. Thank you for your attention, and may God bless all of you.
Something really unique. Not the kind of special you see a stranger. You see, she has what we would call it. And her it is extraordinary. It's got us tripping, I must admit. What is it? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me suggest to the fellows, if you ever see it, and this development, do yourself a favor, make her your wife. You see, it is confidence. It's an air. It is pride. It knows how to handle adversity. It takes things in stride. And I'm talking about it. It cannot be inherited. Nor is it willed, and it's not genetic. Just because your mother had it doesn't mean that it will grace you. I promise you, I've seen some ladies who thought they had it, and well, they didn't have a clue. Now I'm still talking about it. It knows when to speak, and it knows when not to say a word. It is like the die of a child. You see, it is preferred. It knows which fork to use. It frequents plays. It doesn't raise hell. Instead, it chooses to pray. You see, when she smiles, you see it. When she laughs, you hear it. When she tells you something, you believe it. When she hurts, you feel it. When she dances, you want to move with it and see it. Man wants to love it. He wants to hold it. He wants to cherish it. He wants to protect it. Every man knows his life is incomplete without it. You see, for it, she is the prototype. It's like she doesn't walk, she glides around. It is its life now. You can't find it in a special section of the store. You can't order it offline, and trust me, there'll be no articles about it from the press. But one thing for sure, it sure knows how to wear that green dress. It can be defined by height, age, strength, size, or any of those things. It could be singing the voice. It might be wearing a ring. You see, it is all or none. You can't have just a little bit of it. It is classy, sophisticated, and elegant. You can tell the way it stands or the way it sits. Now, how many ladies in here believe you have it? Raise your hands. Put your hands down because they cannot be claimed. It is humble. It doesn't even ask it. It is just that plain. Now, there's no classes, so now you can take for it, and you can't study it in the manual. It is not a membership-based club. You can't pledge for it. And there's no fees to the manual. It is a lot of things. But it gives more than it takes. Well, all that it is, one thing, you can't fake it. Let me just tell you something, fellas, you can never make an aim. And now I would thank my mom for teaching me that if you never come face to face with the devil, you and them must be heading in the same direction. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that. Now let's go ahead and get into the honors and awards presentation. Recognize our honorees that are here tonight. We are so excited to share with you all the things that these amazing women have been doing in the community, our community, their community, for the betterment of the lives of others. So we are honored to present and recognize each and every last one of the honorees tonight. We're going to go ahead and start with the Glass Ceiling Award. The Glass Ceiling Award is presented to those who have broken through the invisible, unbreakable barrier to the advancement of women and other minority segments in the workplace that has resulted in the underrepresentation within boardrooms and C-suites. However, there are individuals who have overcome these barriers by breaking through the glass ceiling as they climb to the top. The City of Stockbridge Women's History Month Committee and Community Development for Real People seek to recognize and honor these individuals for their achievement and for paving the way for other in corporate America, small businesses, politics, or community activism. So our first recipient is Mayor Sandra Vincent. Sandra Vincent has lived in the city of McDonough for 20 plus years. She is the proud mother of 4 daughters, all of whom attended Henry County schools. She is passionate about service and shows this passion in all that she does. In 2005, Ms. Vincent was elected to the McDonough City Council, a 7-member governing body, as the District 2 City Council representative. In 2021, Ms. Sandra Vincent was elected as the first woman and first African-American mayor for the city. She is known for her innovative, caring, and collaborative efforts. One of her most noted accomplishments in Henry County was the successful co-authorship of a $6.2 million neighborhood stabilization grant. This grant was instrumental in countering and destabilizing forces of foreclosures throughout the city and its municipalities. As an employee of a neighboring jurisdiction, she has specialized in housing, community, economic development, public health, and human services. Maintaining a philosophy of leadership by example, Ms. Vincent has served as one of the founding members of the BHYF Incorporation, a nonprofit mentor program for young people, a two-time member of historical Henry County Boys and Girls Club steering committees, a champion for quality housing, and an avid supporter of the arts. Ms. Vincent attended Tuskegee University as a political science major and is a 2002 chartered class graduate of the Agape International Ministries Bible Training Institute. Let's give her another round. Thank you, congratulations. Next up, Mayor Ann Tarpley. Mayor Ann Tarpley has served the people of Hampton as a pastor, business owner, board of directors officer, council member, and now is Hampton's first African American and female mayor. She is Hampton's 38th mayor. Mayor Tarpley gives voice to a diverse coalition of families and stands up for equality, inclusion, public safety, and a strong local economy. She does this by staying community-focused, having forward-thinking principles, and by preserving Hampton's history. Mayor Ann Tarpley is an alum of Shorter University with degrees in business and human services. She started her career as a billing and insurance specialist, but quickly moved up the ranks to Chief Operation Officer for multi-million-dollar firms such as Apprise Incorporated and Healthcare Incorporated. After much prayer, Mayor Ann Tarpley began her consulting firm specializing in acquisitions, property management, and capital funds. Her motto is, taking your business from concept to maturity. Let's give Mayor Ann Tarpley a hand. All right. Representative Regina Lewis Ward is the next recipient of this award. Representative Lewis Ward is a native of Brooklyn, New York, and the first African American elected to represent Georgia's 109th House District. She is a shop steward for the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees Union. Helped protect workers' rights while working in New York. After more than 20 years as a manager with NYC Transit, Representative Lewis Ward retired and relocated to Georgia. She was elected to the Georgia General Assembly in 2020 and became a Stacey Abrams Fair Fight Action Senior Fellow to demonstrate free and fair elections for all. A chartered member of the National Council of Negro Women, Representative Lewis Ward served in leadership roles throughout Henry County and worked with Georgia Tech's Enterprise Innovative Institute and Advanced Technology Development Center to determine the feasibility of a technology incubator in Henry County. Representative Lewis earned a BBA in Computer Systems from Bernard M. Burke College and an MA in Political Science from Clayton State University. She is a political science adjunct instructor and the Northwest Regional Director for the National Organization for Women Georgia Chapter. Thank you so much. Let's give these ladies of the award recipients a hand. Next up is our Community Award. We have two in that category, Father's Love Award and the Mother's Love Award. This award is presented to an individual that has demonstrated unconditional love through action and deeds for the betterment of children in the community. First up, Mother's Love Award, Ms. Diane Cottle Pope. Diane Cottle Pope, best known as the mother of Tamika Tiny Harris, has used her platforms to display her family values and success. She is not a stranger to the world of entertainment. She represents her husband, the legendary Charles Poe, founder of original member of the Tams. Not only does she support her amazingly talented family, Diane also serves as ambassador for Alzheimer's awareness. She is a strong advocate and community organizer in the state of Georgia. Let's give Ms. Pope a round of applause. Father's Love Award, Mr. Yusef Salaam. In 1989, at just 15 years young, Dr. Yusef Salaam was tried and convicted in the Central Park jogger case, along with 4 other Black and Latino young men. The exonerated 5 spent between 7 to 13 years behind bars for crimes they did not commit, until their sentences were overturned in 2002. Since then, they have received a multi-million-dollar settlement from the city of New York for its injustice and have been profiled in award-winning films including The Central Park 5, documentary from Ken Burns, Sarah Burns, and David McMahon, and most recently, the Emmy Award-winning Netflix limited series, When They See Us, written and directed by Ava DuVernay. Over the past 2 decades, Yusef has become a family man, father, poet, activist, and inspirational speaker. He continues to utilize his platform to share his story with others and educate the public about the impact of mass incarceration and police brutality rooted in our justice system. He regularly advocates for criminal justice reform, prison reform, and the abolition of juvenile solitary confinement and capital punishment, specifically restoring humanity to those incarcerated and those trodden down by the spiked wheels of justice. Yusef is the recipient of a Lifetime Achievement Award from President Barack Obama in 2016, and most recently has shared his story and stance on current issues on CNN, MSNBC, Revolt TV, NPR Atlanta, Fox, and more. Let's give Mr. Salaam a round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take a moment and I want to allow Yusef, Dr. Yusef, to say a few words because in this time, a day and era, social justice is poignant. And understand that the city of Stockbridge endeavors to start our own police department. Isn't it great to have an authority right here in this city? The 21st century police department to make sure that we do it right in partnership with you.
Man. I want to first start by saying may the peace, mercy, and blessings of the owner of all peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you. You got to really thank my wife, who was one of the awardees last year, my wife Sophia, we were in New York, and it was cold. And we were born in New York, Harlem and Brooklyn. And it was so cold that my wife said, we gotta figure something out. We was living in a penthouse apartment. It just didn't have no elevator. You had to walk up 6 flights of stairs. And if you left something, you gotta walk up and get it. And my wife said, well, maybe let's look at Jersey. We looked at New Jersey and it was cold. It was real cold that year. We started saying, well, maybe DC. Maybe DC. And then my wife got a call from a friend of hers who was having a housewarming down in this place called Stockbridge. And so we said, well, let's go. Came to Stockbridge and we were looking around at the houses. And of course, the question starts with, how much are the houses down here? My wife was researching Stockbridge and found out that this was one of the best places to raise a black family. My wife and I, shared 10 children together. People always give me that response. But as you all know, the good book says be fruitful. Y'all know I was in jail, so I was just doing my part. But, you know, given the honor in this way is tremendous. Because I've always looked at the case that I was presented in as a 15-year-old child. Almost 33 years ago, I think, this April. And when you think about this case, back then in 1989, people looked at us and thought we were the scum of the earth. They thought our families had given birth to pariahs. But the Central Park jogger case is actually a love story between God and his people. It's the story of a criminal system of injustice turned on its side and placed on trial in order to produce a miracle in modern time. It's the story of a people buried alive and forgotten. But as they say, the system forgot what was seeds. It's the story of a people who were thrown in the fire. But just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. In the black community, we say it a little different. You know, but we emerged like the phoenix from the ashes. Because as they built the fire to consume us, they forgot the owner of the heat. I'm honored and thankful to call Stockbridge home. My wife and I, we've been down here since 2016. And it is the best move, I tell you, that we ever made. My children, they still city, some of them. You know, but for me, I've been traveling around the world, sharing my story, not necessarily of what happened, but of how you can take life's lemons and make lemonade. Yes. Of how Dr. Maya Angelou was raised and lifted up in this space, and I want to just share this before I give the mic back. Dr. Maya Angelou said, you should be angry, but you must not be bitter. Reminding us that bitterness is like a cancer. It eats upon the host. It doesn't do anything to the object of its displeasure. That she teaches us how we all can become alchemists. She says, use that anger. You dance it. You march it. You vote it. You do everything about it. And then she said, you talk it. Never stop talking. Thank you.
Sandra. Just real quick, ladies and gentlemen, how I met Mr. Salaam, we were serving. God put us out on that mission to serve and to give back during the pandemic with community development for real people. He and Sophia Stockbridge by with no heirs but groceries to give back. And they donated, introduced themselves and said, how can we help? That's what I'm talking about. He saw us walking the walk. We know that he's doing it. Thank you. Praise you.
Okay, thank you so much. Our next category is for the Llewellyn Burns Teacher Award. Okay, this award is presented to an educator that demonstrated exemplary dedication to children beyond the classroom for the betterment of children in the community. Our first recipient is Ms. Erin Bundage. Erin is a Georgia native and comes from a family of educators. She grew up in Georgia after graduating high school, she went on to earn bachelor's and master's degree in middle grades education and her specialist degree in curriculum and instruction, all from Georgia College and State University. Ms. Bundridge is an 18-year education veteran and has worked in Jones, Bibb, and Cobb counties prior to joining the Henry County school system in 2015. She has served as a 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade and 6th grade teacher, as well as an elementary school counsel. This is her 10th year in the school council, and she currently serves as a middle school counselor at Woodland Middle School. She is married to her childhood sweetheart, Trevor, and they have a 5-year-old daughter. In her spare time, she enjoys spending time with her family, watching football, go Dogs, she says, traveling, and reading. Let's give it up for Ms. Erin Bundridge. I'd like to say that she is also my former co-worker as well. She deserves this award.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to say thank you so much for this award. It means a lot to be recognized by the city of Stockbridge. It gives me much pleasure to serve the students at Woodland Middle School, and I am excited to be there every day. Thank you again.
Thank you. Next recipient, Atanya Jean Funny.
Yeah!
Ms. Funny is a North Clayton High School educator. She received a bachelor's and master's degree in biology education from Florida A&M University. She also earned an educational leadership degree from Burrock College. This allowed her to have a rewarding career in the education field for over 20 years. She is a founding executive board member of the reestablished Clayton County Federation of Democratic Women and currently serves as first vice president. She serves on the Clayton County School Board of Appeals and Community Budget Advisory Committee for Clayton County Schools. Ms. Funny is the wife of Jung Funny Jr. and the mother of son John and daughter Jordan. They reside in Hampton, Georgia and Clayton County. She is the member and leadership fellow of Tabernacle Praise Church International, as well as a member of the Clayton County Democratic Party and the Clayton and Henry County Federation of Democratic Women. Let's give Ms. Funny another round of applause.
Thank you to the city of Stockbridge, Councilman, and we were out there in the 90 degrees. Ms. Kalila. After 20 years of teaching, you kind of don't remember the numbers anymore. So it's like 20 plus years until it gets close to retirement, and you start remembering the numbers again. But I thank everyone for honoring me. We don't do this for the recognition. We do this for the kids. But it's nice to know that our work is not in vain. And please just remember the teachers. Remember the teachers.
Next recipient, Ms. Leah Pickett. Leah Pickett is a teacher at Dutchtown Middle School and is currently in her 25th year as an educator. She is highly qualified in math and science and currently serves as the 6th grade level chair. The Girls Rise program, which she co-sponsors, has been around in her school for more than 10 years. The program focuses on self-help, empowering and uplifting girls and community service. Ms. Pickett enjoys contributing to the program with outreach in the community about the STEM field and giving the scholars exposure to careers they may not think are attainable for young women. Ms. Leah Pickett. She doesn't want to say.
Thank you so much for this honor. I appreciate it. As my other honoree has said, we do it for the children. Thank you.
Definitely have to award our educators and recognize them. As a former 15-year educator myself, it is definitely needed, and this does a lot for the teachers. Thank you. Okay, Now we're going to move on to our Women's History Month General Awards. This award honors women who have served their community and provided solutions for problems that have plagued their community. First one is Miss Sophia Choi. Sophia Choi anchors Channel 2 News, Action News Saturday and Sunday AM, and is a general assignment reporter for Channel 2 Action News. Prior to joining WSB-TV, Choi worked as the 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. anchor of KVBC-TV, the NBC affiliate in Las Vegas. While there, she won two electronic media awards for her work. Before moving to Las Vegas, Choi worked as the prime-time anchor for CNN Headline News, where she covered various breaking stories, including the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans and Hurricane Wilma in Florida. She has also anchored various programs for CNN and CNN International. Choi has worked as a morning anchor in Los Angeles and as a reporter in Birmingham, Alabama, where she was nominated for an Emmy Award for her series on child predators and won an Associated Press Award. Choi began her career in Lynchburg, Virginia. She is a proud graduate of the University of Missouri, Columbia, where she received a Bachelor of Journalism degree. Ms. Sophia Choi.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is such a good, awesome recognition, because how many times did I wake up Saturday morning and Sunday morning and wonder how WSB operate without you? You're on there all day, Saturday morning, Saturday noon, and you do so much. You're the hardest working woman in media. And I said, you know what, I couldn't think of honoring anybody more deserving than you. And I'm going to allow you to say a few words too.
Well, let me just say, I'm very good, I think, at telling other people's stories, not necessarily my own. I don't really like talking about myself, but I do want to say, to be on the heels of Black History Month and to be in this great city of Stockbridge, where the great Dr. Martin Luther King Sr. was born, is amazing. To be honored by this great city during Women's History Month. Thank you so much. It's an honor.
Ms. Donna Brady. Donna Brady is the Director of Community Relations and Volunteer Services at Piedmont Henry Hospital in Stockbridge, Georgia. She is celebrating her 25th year at Piedmont Henry. Prior to this, she was the Communications Director in the College of Education at Georgia State University. She is a proud graduate of the University of Georgia with a degree in journalism. During her 25 years at Piedmont, she served in a variety of roles, including community relations, marketing, public relations, strategic planning, and so many others. She currently serves as an Emirates leader of the Leadership Henry and ex-officio member of the Piedmont Henry Auxiliary Board. Donna has been a Henry County resident for the past 30 years and is celebrating 35 years of marriage to her husband, Scott, who is a Henry County teacher. They are members of Bethany Baptist Church and together raised 2 children, Chelsea, a pharmacist living in Brunswick, Georgia, and Chase, a senior psychology major at the University of Georgia. Please give a round of applause for Ms. Donna Brady. Ms. Sherry DeVals-Denard. Sherry was born in Oakland, California to a naval family and relocated to Phoenix City, Alabama after the loss of her father at a very young age. Being the youngest of 4 siblings, she always had a giving spirit and willingness to help others. From a professional standout, Sherry is the CEO, owner of Sherry DeVals-Denard State Farm, located in McDonough, Georgia. She is licensed to insure not only in the state of Georgia, but also adjacent states, Alabama and South Carolina. In her 2.5-year tenure, she has achieved various awards to include Ambassador Travel, Honors Club, and is on target to achieve Chairman's Circle and SVP Club for the 2021 calendar year. Please give a round of applause for Ms. Sherry.
you so much to Council Alexander. Thank you to Stockbridge. Thank you to my sisters, Ariel, Southern Crescent Women in Business. Thank you to my customers. I thank God. Thank you for my husband who's here today. Thank you for this award. Thank you so much.
Ms. Mildred Evans. Mildred Millie Evans was born in a small coal mining town in central Pennsylvania. Following graduation, she attended the Mercy School of Nursing in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. In 1968, she joined the U.S. Army Nurse Corps with 14 other student nurses in her nursing school class of 42. After graduation and going to basic training in San Antonio, her first assignment was the Republic of Vietnam, where she served for a year, eventually becoming the head nurse of the ER in a field hospital at the age of 22. At an early age, she saw the horrors of war and feels greatly honored to have taken care of other young men in combat. Since then, she has been a nurse in several specialty areas, including hemodialysis, kidney and bone marrow transplants, where she and her husband Bill met, neonatal intensive care and school nursing. She has a bachelor's degree in school nursing and a Master of Science degree. She was recognized as School Nurse of the Year in New Jersey and is recognized as a nationally certified school nurse. She retired in 2013. In her spare time, Millie enjoys baking, doing crafts, and assisting with the weekly food drive at the food pantry each Tuesday. She says it is an honor to serve our men and women in the military. Her motto is, caring is sharing. Miss Millie Evans.
I'll have to say a few words. You know, Millie and Bill Evans just showed up and showed out, y'all. That's what they did. They showed up to the food drive and they've been helping every single week. They donate their time. It's amazing what they do. And they are veterans, and that's what veterans do. This is a great love story. Tell that story to them.
Oh my God. Well, we've been married almost 46 years. It'll be 46 years in April. And it's interesting about having to wear the mask so much the last 2 years because when Bill and I met, he was a medic at that time in the Navy. We met at Oakland Naval Hospital in Bethesda, Maryland. And we met with masks on because that's the only thing we saw for days and days. And we worked with the bone marrow transplants, which were very new at that time. So that's our love story. We met in August, dated in September and October. He had to be transferred to a naval hospital in California. A lot of expensive phone calls. We got married in April. And I think we only actually dated person to person for maybe a month and a half. But here we are 46 years later, so you can tell it's a true love story. Amen. Love you, babe.
Next up, Dr. Deborah Haynes. Dr. Haynes practices general and complicated obstetrics and gynecology. Outside the practice, Dr. Haynes devotes time to community education regarding women's issues and participating in the yearly medical mission to serve the underprivileged in Jamaica. Other interests include traveling, music, concerts, sports events, and reading. Dr. Haynes shares an avid interest in physical fitness and sports activities with family and friends. Graduate of Temple University School of Medicine, internship with University of Arizona of Medicine, and board certified in obstetrics. Come on now, I have to read that 4 times. And gynecology. Let's give it up for Dr. Deborah Haynes.
I want to thank you, Elton, Councilman Alexander, for this award. It's been my pleasure to be serving the city of Stockbridge, the county of Henry County, for these last 25 years. My journey has been a little circuitous getting to this point, but my mission is to serve. and my goal is to make a difference in just one person's life. I think I've done that, maybe. Anyway, it's been my joy, and I thank you for this award.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. Abar, stand up. Stand up. Eagles Landing OBGYN brought us this beautiful gift right here, ladies and gentlemen. Healthy and strong. And we live at home. And this practice brought her into life. She's been our joy. That's my heart right there. Along with my daughter and my family. You know what? Thank you so much for everything that you do every single week on the food drive. And Dr. Amanda Copeland Phillips as well. Without you all, what we do would not have been possible. God put you in our path, and we're doing great. We're going to do great things together.
Dr. Rosalind Matthews. Rosalind Matthews is a native New Yorker who received her passion for community service and social justice from her late mother, Barbara. She has a doctorate in public health leadership. Her research focused on building the capacity of the African American church to address social determinants that affect health equality. She is passionate about educating community members to make informed decisions about their health while offering public health leaders pragmatic strategies to reduce disparities in morbidity, ultimately leading to improved population health for African Americans. Rosalind works as a senior public health advisor at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. She is a life member of the NAACP and serves as president of the local Henry County branch. She joined her beloved sisterhood of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated 39 years ago. Don't let this red fool y'all. I will get to call them too. I love my sisters, all of them. Georgia State Section, and she's also a member of the NCNW National Nominating Committee. Rosalind is married to Shakira Robert Matthews. Her heroes are her sisters and 3 brothers. She is a member of Dixon Grove Baptist Church. Her life's motto is, "To whom much is given, much is required."
Thank you so much, Councilman Alexander and the City of Stockbridge, for this award. I really appreciate it. Thank you for recognizing me. I just want to say that the NAACP here in Henry County is still active, very active. We're still serving as the last line of defense for those that cannot advocate for themselves. We welcome you to come and join us in this fight for equality here in Henry County. We meet every second Tuesday of the month. We have a website. Please look us up, Henry County NAACP, and we are still serving in the community. Thank you so much.
Ms. Kim Mays, a native of Atlanta. Kim is a local resident of Henry County, where she lives with her husband of 20 years and 2 handsome sons. A little known fact is that Kim's mother and grandmother were raised in Henry County, so the decision to open a State Farm agency in the Henry County community was a perfect match. Prior to State Farm, Kim graduated from North Carolina A&T State University, and she has a Bachelor of Science degree in Architectural Engineering. Her resume includes over 10 years of commercial construction project management experience in the healthcare construction. When she became a mother, her entrepreneurial spirit led her to become a real estate broker in Georgia, where she is now over 15 years of experience. When presented with the opportunity to become a State Farm agency owner, she knew right away it was a natural fit. Ms. Kim Mays.
I just want to say thank you so much to Councilman Alexander and the Women's History Month Committee for selecting me. I am very grateful to have the opportunity to open a State Farm office in Stockbridge. That was a wonderful decision. And I also just want to thank State Farm as well, because they allow us to do a lot of support in the community. So along with my sister, Sherry Denard, and Lisa Craddock in State Farm, we love supporting the community. So anything we can do, please don't hesitate to give us a call. Thank you.
I have Ms. Donna Brad to come back up. I'm sorry, we wandered off the script, and we're going to have you. Is she still? Okay, come back up, because we want to make sure we give everybody a fair opportunity to speak, and that was not part of the plan, but you know, emotion gets you, and everybody needs to hear this. Everybody has a great story.
I'm not used to being out front. I'm used to being behind the scenes. That's kind of my role. So I'm really nervous up here. I want to thank you, and thank you, and thank you. I thank the committee, thank the city of Stockbridge for recognizing me. It's, you know, it's, I love what I do. I love living here, and I just hope I can continue serving. Thank you.
Thank you.
Representative Angela Moore. State Representative Angela Moore represents the citizens of House District 90, which includes portions of DeKalb, Rockdale, and Henry counties. She was elected to the Georgia House of Representatives in 2021. Representative Moore was born in Washington, D.C. and attended the University of the District of Columbia, where she majored in biology. She went on to pursue a career in medicine, dedicating her work to women's health care. Later, she moved to Georgia more than 25 years ago to seek better opportunities for her children. Her strong Southern family roots serve as her grounding board. She also attended Georgia Institute of Technology School of Business and made the career move to become an award-winning publicist through her own public relations firm. Following her passion as a recipe developer in the food arts, Representative Moore opened a culinary arts school situated in Atlanta, Georgia. In 2019, Representative Moore formed the Color Purple Foundation, which helps to subsidize terminally ill cancer patients' last wish. She was inspired to create this foundation after the passing of her little sister, who succumbed to gallbladder cancer, leaving her 3 minor children in her care. Let's please give a round of applause for Representative Moore.
Thank you, and thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Councilman, and thank you, Stockbridge. This time last year, I was campaigning in weather under 30 degrees and in the rain every day. We didn't have a vaccine, so the only time I got to meet people was in a food line. I promised you all that I would get to know you all, hopefully under a roof. This is my first roof meet up. So it's going to take me a while to get around to knowing you all. I've been in a special session and now I'm in a regular session. I go right back into a re-election. But slowly but surely, I'm getting out to you all. I'm so honored to be representing you, and I'm so honored that you all have eyes on your representative this year. Hopefully we'll get to meet along the campaign trail or during the summer trail, and I'm very, very thankful to you for opening up those doors for me. And you deserve everything too. I watched this man. The reason I sided with him so well is because I was out in the rain, and he was out in the rain at Christmas time giving all these toys to children. And I woke up one morning and I said, he's not gonna have it. I said, wait a minute, he's just like me. I got in my car and I just came. He was out there giving out toys to thousands of children. Didn't have a single umbrella, and I was out there right with him. So thank you so much. Thank you for the lessons so far. And I look forward to at least 10 years with you guys.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate that.
Ms. Juandolyn Stokes. Juandolyn Stokes is a well-known voice and high-profile part of the Atlanta community. A native of Savannah, Georgia, she moved to Atlanta in the early 80s to attend Clark Atlanta University, majoring in broadcast management and marketing. She continued her educational journey, graduating from Beulah Heights University and the Interdenominational Theological Center in Atlanta. For over 15 years, she was morning show host for the popular radio show called Joy in the Morning. She continued her broadcasting career for the Sheridan Gospel Network in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Inspirations Across America in Atlanta, Rejoice Music Network in Dallas, Texas. Not only is she a radio veteran, she is a former Atlanta music executive. Her face is familiar from TV appearances for Central City Productions and in Chicago, Las Vegas, and WATC-TV Atlanta. She's a broadcaster, speaker, educator, and strong advocate for causes related to teens, girls, teen girls, women, health, and wellness. Her mantra for all is to live well and win well. Ms. Juandolyn Stokes.
Thank you so very much. I was called to WAOK weekdays from 10 until 1, Monday through Friday, in the midst of the pandemic, at the onset, February of 2020. And I was like, okay, I'm getting ready to do this. And then here came the pandemic. But it afforded me the opportunity to shine light on issues and matters that concern everyone. And it's always a pleasure to be able to shine light on Henry County and Stockbridge. Thank you, thank you.
You are so welcome, don't go anywhere right there. You know what, for so long, Henry County did not have a place at the table. But you know what, I'm thankful for my monthly appearance on Point every first Thursday of the month, making sure that everybody knows about Henry County on WAOK 1380. Thank you so much.
Ms. Sylvia Dennis Ray. Sylvia Dennis Ray was born in Perry, Georgia, but was raised in Linden, New Jersey. She started her career in corporate America and worked for major companies. She moved back to Georgia in 2005 to become an entrepreneur and start her own restaurant business alongside her husband. In 2006, her mother had to have a brain surgery, and this left her with dementia. Later that year, Sylvia and her husband opened their restaurant in McDonough, Georgia. They wanted to give back to their community, so they decided they would give back to the WAOK to End Alzheimer's. This was the beginning of a new direction for Sylvia. According to Sylvia, when I chose the charity Alzheimer's, little did I know that I would be so involved in the organization. After being so involved in Peachtree City's WAOK to End Alzheimer's, God directed me to start an Alzheimer's and Dementia Caregiver Support Group here in Henry County. That same year, God told her to start a Henry County WAOK to End Alzheimer's. In 2019, God also had more plans for Sylvia to get involved in Clayton County as well. She became the marketing and events coordinator at the Alzheimer's Service Center and started the Clayton County Alzheimer's and Dementia Caregivers Support Group. She became the executive director at the Alzheimer's Service Center, Clayton County. In 2020, due to the COVID-19, the center temporarily closed their doors. They received a $50,000 grant from Clayton County HUD to feed the citizens of Clayton County. They were able to partner with the USDA Farmers to Families Food Program and distributed over 65,000 food boxes to the metro Atlanta area. Ms. Sylvia Dennis Ray.
I just want to say thank you to Elton. Thank you to the city of Stockbridge. They've always supported the WAOK to End Alzheimer's. They were there every year except last year. And I was like, what happened? Because Mayor's always here. But I knew y'all was building that amphitheater. But I also want to thank the Women's Committee. I want to thank Ariel and Southern Crescent Women in Business. And I also would like to thank our caregivers and the people that are suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia. I thank them for allowing the Alzheimer's Services Center to serve their loved ones When I started this journey 20 years ago, I never imagined that I would be caring for other people's loved ones, but I count it a joy. I just love what I do. I love caring for people who are suffering from Alzheimer's and any type of dementia. The Alzheimer's Services Center, we're still out there, so please, we get our we get our funding through donations. So go to our website, www.asc-ga.org, and make a donation. Thank you.
Okay, that is going to conclude our program for today. We will have some closing remarks and some other acknowledgments before we close out. Can we have the committee members, the women's committee members, to please come up? Please join us up here, please. Once again, while they're making their way up, we want to thank our sponsors. Be sure to check them out. They're all listed in your program. And like and follow them and support them as well. Thank you again. Also to our singer, our Mr. Shaw, Miss Lydia, all of the presenters, Hank Stewart, that were entertaining us, the Eagles Landing Dance Club, dance group. Awesome representation of Stockbridge. So thank you again.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for the committee members. We got flowers for all of the committee members here. We'll distribute those flowers to all the committee members. We want to recognize our tremendous host, Veronica Carter, for your dedication. And she's a jet setter, ladies and gentlemen. She was on the overnight flight, got here, and turned it up. Thank you. You did a great job. I appreciate it. And that will bring our event to a close.